Hello, you don't have to answer back. I'm leaving this folded, thin as a crack, in a door that still knows the shape of your hand, so I'll start where letters usually land. I grew up on stories you told after dark, loose thread memories, flicker and spark, of a girl learning love was a difficult skill, earned with obedience, silence and will. You said affection was something to win, that warmth had conditions stitched into the skin, that a small act of no could turn fire to ash, could erase what was soft in a single harsh flash. A favorite toy turned to smoke in the yard, a lesson delivered precise and hard. Yet later a hospital, wires softly humming, a heartbeat speeding, and news of my coming. Joy blooming late in a sterile white room, love arriving just shy of the tomb, a happiness proven by numbers and sound, then gone before names could be passed around. You spoke of another who felt like a home, who taught you with thread how patience is sown, how mountains can quiet the loudest of years, how hands learn to mend what a life wants to tear. There were holidays walked, there were vistas and views, there were stitches imperfect but lovingly true, and though you never matched her exacting design, you carried her steadiness quietly inside. And then there was him, with the fields and the dirt, who answered loss quickly, who softened the hurt, who replaced what was burned with something still kind, who stood like a fence against weather and time. But even the kind ones grew tired of breath, and some grief begins long before death, and silence moved in where words used to stay, until endings stacked up without much to say. One fall in a bathroom, one door left unchecked, one fight that outlived its chance to be left, and you were the one who found stillness too late. Love frozen on tile by the weight of fate. You told me once, rare, unguarded and low, that you cried so hard you ran out of tears to show. And I believed you because after that day, your sorrow learned how to quietly stay. It hid through goodbyes, through graves and through loss, but softened its script for creatures with paws. For wings in the rafters, for legs quick to flee, you saved every spider, but you never saved me. When the world felt sharp, you went where it was small, to fur and to feathers that asked nothing at all, while words stayed dangerous, heavy and wrong, and pain learned to wait where it didn't belong. You were taught to be little long before I knew you, to shrink in mirrors no matter the view, to measure your worth with a merciless eye, to call yourself wrong even as you complied. You warned me once softly, please don't let this stay, as if naming the fear might keep it away. Yet I watched you still bargain with numbers and glass, calling yourself too much and calling yourself last. And when I asked gently, trying to be fair, if that's what you are, then what am I there? You promised the future would fix it in time, not knowing how deeply those words would entwine. You see danger and quiet, rejection and rest, assume love is neutral at absolute best, and every small distance confirms what you fear, that the people you love don't hold you dear. You never said you didn't love me, not once, but you said I didn't, again and again, as if naming that wound would make it make sense, as if your wounds were mine to mend. I was fading inside, you couldn't quite see, bandages hidden where language should be, and instead of a question, soft, open and kind, you found an answer that blamed my decline. I learned young to mirror what lived in your chest, to call pauses hatred, to fail every test, to feel like a burden, like something too much, to starve for approval and flinch at its touch. I'm quiet and creative, I miss numbers and signs, I get lost in my head, I run out of time, and people walk past me not knowing the cost of how much of myself I already lost. I am so much like you, it almost feels planned. Yet even in likeness we couldn't quite stand. In the same understanding, the same kind of care. It's not that you wouldn't, it's that you weren't there. And still, I have proof of the love you can give. In the meals, in the crafts, in the songs that still live, in the corners of memory tender and bright, in the stories you told that made dark feel like light. I know you are loving because you are afraid. Because losing that bond is your deepest ache, because fear doesn't grow where nothing is felt. It only takes root in a heart that has held. But I miss who you were when your hand still had room to paint me a future, to sing through a room. And I don't know where that version has gone. She's just tired, still holding on. So I'll end this the way I began. No demand, just a note set down softly, still warm in my hand. Goodbye for now. I'm still here. I still try. I love you, even when neither knows why.